Thank you for listening to Depictions Media Radio. Tammy Cho is founder of Path to the Heart and is a self-love embodied guide, psychosomatic therapist, speaker, coach, and healer whose mission is to awaken humanity to embody their self-love and acceptance and live in alignment with their higher purpose and truth of who they really are. Having served as a registered nurse and as a psycho-spiritual industry for 20 years, Tammy blends neuroscience, metaphysical laws, emotional leadership, and the energetics of manifesting to support ambitious, purpose-driven leaders to create impact, influence, income without exhaustion and self-sacrifice. Tammy specializes in self-love embodiment, life purpose discovery, co-creative goal actualization, and cultivating human potential. Tammy weaves her proven face and body analysis system and psychospiritual modalities to uncover subconscious challenges and dissolve patterns of the mental and physical emotional level to help leaders create energetic alignment and open to receive their next level of joy, fulfillment, success with more inner ease and harmony. So, welcome to the show, Tammy. We've said a lot of really cool things about love, embodiment, and how you help awaken the humanity in people and everything. But it all started with you transitioning from being a registered nurse to where you are now. So, tell us more about that. How that happened for you?
Michael, I love to. I really started in nursing one day. I went to work and I started having heart palpitations, and there was pain radiating up my jaw and down my arm, and things were getting fuzzy. My hearing was going weird, and I just couldn't take a deep breath in. And nothing triggered it. It was just, I was one day at work and I ended up being wheeled off to emergency in front of all my coworkers at work. And I have to say, leading up to that point, I didn't know that I was experiencing high anxiety and all this. I knew that I was experiencing burnout, but I just couldn't get myself to let go. All my commitments to the doctors I was working with, my patients, and my coworkers, ended up being, more important. I just couldn't let go. And, some people would, say, is it my intelligence level, right? And where it really sort of, now that I look back, I realize where this all came from is that when I was young, I was abandoned by my mother at 20 days old to a physically and emotionally abusive father. And from that point, I really didn't know who I was because I spent my whole life trying to wear this mask, this identity of making other people happy. And so going to that point of letting go, even though I knew what I needed to do, I couldn't get myself to do it because at a emotional level, as I look back now, right, it was all about my identity was pushing and overworking and doing things to make everyone happy. And so this is the mask I was wearing, and it led me to my burnout and exhausting myself and really living life not knowing who I was. And Michael, really wasn't until my daughter was 6 months old, and she was lying there on one of those baby Einstein mats and with the hanging toys and such.
Yeah.
And for the first time, she hit one of those hanging toys. And there was a community nurse next to me in my living room, and she said, "Oh, Tammy, did you see that?" Right? And I saw it, but I was so disconnected within myself. I was so numbed out. Everything I had to do to keep this child alive, I just couldn't even feel that love. And from that point, like when I talk about it now, I feel very emotional. But at that time, I wouldn't have awakened to the fact how numbed out I was with my own life and my own the love I could have had at that time for my daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just talking about it now, it always makes me a bit emotional. And yeah, and it's like I thank goodness for these angels that come in our life that really awaken us. And so this is a big part of why I do what I do, because I choose to be that person to awaken people to the truth of who they are and to remember themselves. And so that's a big part of my journey on why I do what I do and why I started exploring NLP, and starting trying to
Mm-hmm.
master the mind, the mindset. And I still, underneath everything, I still felt like anxious, depressed, empty, unfulfilled. I dived into energy healing. And if I was honest with myself, although it did actually help me, it even when I stopped doing the energy exchanges with people, it would all come back. And because one of my values is truth, finding the truth and the freedom behind things, I kept on looking. And it really wasn't until I came back to um yeah, my body and actually felt all the emotions. Obviously, I did 4 years of emotional, spiritual healing. So I dived right deeply into it and coming back to the body, this is how everything gets moved. And I'd love to share more about this. And yeah, this is just one thing I'm really grateful for having these painful moments that led me to where I am, because now I could take all this information to support people through this.
Yeah. Wow. That is a powerful story, and um, it, it sounds as though the whole pregnancy and giving birth, and then seeing your daughter as she was playing, that she was the one who awakened you.
Yeah, it's like they say that
Wow.
our kids are these gifts to us. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
that nurse in my living room had a big part to do with it, but it's beautiful, our children
Well,
and how they open our hearts,
yeah.
right?
Well, we can always go with God, Creator, whoever, or universe, however you want to say it, right? It's like
Mhm.
it's like when other things aren't working, it's like He does he she, however you want to say it. You know the shock paddles. See,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The shock paddles like zap. Okay, let's see if that wakens her up now. Okay, yeah, that did it. Okay, then that's who the nurse was. It was that shock paddle, right?
Yeah, it's like she's alive.
Defibrillator. That's what it
Yeah.
was. I couldn't think of the word defibrillator. Defibrillator. That's who she was. Like, okay, yeah, that'll do it right there. So yeah,
Yes.
it and it at this point it's exciting to meet you and to speak with you after all that happened, because you're doing fantastic things for our world, right?
Yes, this is the mission I feel really drawn in all my heart. It was like one of those where no one in my what do you call it, family was in business. And it took a lot to sort of just venture out into this. And I got what I call a download. And that was such a powerful experience for me that I could not say no. And I knew this was my path.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I truly believe I'm online with my soul purpose. And this is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah. So your
Yeah.
family were naysayers to you starting your own
Yeah,
business?
definitely. Yeah, it's definitely, it wasn't necessarily a supportive energy. And it's just that that's where they were at. And so I'm just really grateful for myself for breaking through everything like we all must do, for
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah. I don't want to dwell on it too long, but I do want to focus on that because there's a lot of people listening out there that they have their family saying, you'll never do that. That's just too hard. You'll never be you're not smart enough. You're not this or that enough to be able to do it. How did you overcome your family not being the most supportive?
A big part of it was really allowing myself to keep my heart open,
Hmm.
um, and having the right mentors and support and the community I was around. Super important. You just need people that can see you in your vision when you can't necessarily see it in yourself. And also like just staying that why, your purpose. Like, and this is the thing I understand that not everyone is connected to that right away.
Hmm.
And this is, part of why I'm passionate about what I do. It's really staying online with your own purpose, your why, your passion, whatever that is, and focus on it every day, wherever
Right.
that you are on your path with that, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, in your bio, we talked about um, self embodiment guide. That's a big string of
Yeah.
words. What does it mean? Or at least, what does it mean to you?
Yeah. Self love embodiment guided actually took me some time to step into that. And it is beautiful because it really stems down to our level of self love, our deservingness level within ourselves. And um, I, what this means for me is that a lot of times we are going out, pushing, doing all these things. And many of us are super exhausted in the society that we're living in today. And really, what we don't realize is that when there isn't that energy alignment within ourselves, so we can work on the mindset and we can continue pushing, doing all these things on our list and getting it done.
Hmm.
However, if there's that piece of you, the self love deservingness piece, that is in the not matching your level of impact you're wanting to make, we are actually pushing it away energetically. And this is a big, um, I believe what I've seen in my clients is a big reason why people are burning out and they don't think to put themselves first and prioritize themselves. And they have a big heart wanting to make a difference and helping others. And there's a place within themselves that they're doing it, like that mask I was wearing in my story about like needing to put together and like being more loyal to other people than myself and prioritizing other people's needs before myself.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, if you look at the root cause of everything, right? Are you able to create things? Like, it's not that you could follow things and it's like systems and create some sort of impact and income, but it's like when you reach that level of impact, that income, whatever you're achieving for, if you're not inside feeling, allowing yourself to actually receive the gratitude, receive the love, we just sort of move on and keep on doing it. There's never that fulfillment, meaningfulness, and the ability to love self at such a level that life actually falls into place and we can receive with ease and flow.
Right.
I said a lot there,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is what flows through me when you ask me that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. So there's some other questions because most people don't even know that they're burning out. Um, when I experienced burnout in the industry that I came from before I went turned to radio and started doing this full time, I hadn't realized it. I had hit a burnout. Um,
mm,
until afterwards, it was like it's like somebody pointed at one of my coaches mentors pointed to me and said, "You do realize that you had not only had you hit the apex of where you're going with that particular career and part of your life, but you had burned out when you hit it." I was like, "Oh." So how do people self-recognize that they're going through a burnout?
Well, I mean, that's one of the big things. I mean, I believe that a lot of people have some sort of awareness. It's that it's when they don't feel like it's important enough because everyone, it's a societal norm that it's okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're experiencing the body pains, you're exhausted, like you close your eyes and you realize how tired you are. You're unable to be present. You take it out on family, you're irritable. And it's like part of you knows. And I believe, what I do and how I go about this is that I start my clients off with a face analysis.
Okay.
And it actually, not only sort of speaks about all the your strengths and like your challenges and internal conflicts. It all highlights on our body. And um, when I help someone journey back into themselves, helping them see themselves, sometimes for the first time ever,
Yeah.
many of them already know that they're burnt out,
Yeah.
or burning out. They know they've been hiding.
Mm-hmm.
It's like some of us need someone we need to be held and loved in a safe space to admit this. Because what I do, if I were to let go of this mask I've been wearing, who am I? And that's scary when we don't know who we are,
Right.
because it's a place of the unknown. And the mind doesn't do well there. The mind wants to know more and understand more. The heart already knows, you know? And so this is a big piece of it. I mean, some people feel like the face analysis is somewhat, bringing everything to the forefront, somewhat confronting for some, but, you know, I feel people are attracted to me for a reason because I value this truth and freedom, and we cannot create freedom without creating internal peace.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's a gift. It's a gift for me to work with people in this way. Like I just, yeah, for people that are drawn to me, like it's for a reason, right? We create and attract people in our lives for a reason, and people who are ready to look, to let themselves be held.
Yeah.
Yes, and I just whoever is listening, I just like just remember you matter. You deserve more. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to create for people, your clients, everything around you, and you deserve to be happy. It doesn't have to be either or. That's made up by the ego.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's it. That's it packaged up and wrapped in emotion and love and everything. Um, so wow, how do you go about creating that environment for somebody to relax, put the walls down, so they can start to find that internal happiness and that internal peace?
Now, one thing I help my clients create is this alignment with our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. Many of us align our thoughts with our actions,
Mm-hmm.
and we miss out on this piece of the emotions. And when we're able to create this alignment, it creates coherence within us. It creates internal authenticity and alignment to just naturally create and receive. And I speak about this is that the more we allow ourselves to have this emotional leadership and love for ourselves, we become the space. So when we work with our clients, work with the people around us, whether family, friends, we become the space of safety. And this is created by intention, of course, and it's created by continuing matching your level of impact with your level of self-care and self-love. And this is what when I speak about self-love embodiment. allowing yourself to just love, and be loving. And in that beingness of who we are, that's how I create the space. I set the intention, I open my heart, and I ground the person and I just hold space because you know what, Michael?
Hmm.
All of us, we know everything already. We do not need more information. We only need to trust and connect to ourselves. All the answers are there.
Hmm.
Stop playing this game that the mind tells us, right? All the mind chatter. Because even the mind chatter and the ego, it really is pointing us back to love. Because all those words, it's our emotions speaking. Words are created through our emotions, of the pain of the emotions, because we're not looking there. This is what I'm passionate about guiding people back to love for self. And unfortunately, we need to journey through the darkness into the light. We need to allow ourselves to feel the pain because that expands our capacity to feel, to receive, to love. This
Wow.
is what we're called back to as humans.
Yeah. Okay. There's some people out there that I know they're thinking this is like you said, feel the pain. Oh, that's scary. I don't want to feel the pain. But we feel the pain. What happens on the other side of it?
It's beautiful. Like for me, and I don't want to lie to anyone, you know?
Hmm.
When we journey through the pain, you're going to feel pain, right?
Hmm.
And it takes a certain amount of desiring to want something different in our lives. Nothing is created without desire. And we must be able to want something enough and to be able to want it enough that you're willing to do that. You're willing to experience the pain. For my own journey, like it was like going from black and white TV to color TV. And and I'm not really gonna like make it up, right? It's a journey. It's not
Yeah.
that, oh, one time and this is all done and or and it's like you're all fixed. It's
Uh huh.
not about fixing self. It's like we're whole already. We're just coming back to ourselves and moving what's in the way, all the lies, all the shadows that's not even us. This is the truth of who we are. We are love. You
Hmm.
are love, Michael.
Right.
Yeah, it's really just allowing yourselves to. I keep saying this, and I hope as I'm speaking about this, it's dropping into your body and you're allowing yourself to actually hear this, whoever's listening, right? It's that self love embodiment. It's coming back to ourselves and making the pain okay. And as something I want to share, Michael, is that if we only allow ourselves to feel this much pain, we can only feel this much pleasure. You can't block out what is painful and expect yourself to feel more of everything we say we want. Energetically, law of duality, it doesn't work that way. And so, yes, it does take a certain amount of leadership within ourselves
Hmm.
to create this in our lives. That's why I call it emotional leadership.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah, you actually put this energy right out there. You can just feel it. It's like it's tangible. You know.
Yes. Thank
Um.
you. Yes, I hold the space
Yeah.
of love and peace is what
Yeah.
I've been
I
told.
I
Yeah.
I. I've honestly, it's like when you've logged in thousands of. Think about this. It's like each interview is about an hour, and I've logged in thousands of hours. So that's thousands of interviews that I've done, right? And um, you more than anyone else I've ever met, you just put this energy out there. It's like here it is, bam, feel it. You're safe. Go ahead, feel it. And you just do that. Wow. Okay. So let's work on some of the things that you did, some of the tools that you use to help people. Okay, because you talk about different modalities and therapies that you use in your practice. Start to describe some of those.
Well, a big part of what as a psychosomatic therapist, I found this tool very powerful, helping people see themselves, yes, through the face analysis, but also through the body analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And our emotional history is written all over our body. And so I help someone with the embodiment, with seeing themselves, and to access the truth within themselves through helping them visually and tangibly connect with it,
Mm-hmm.
with the body. And so, and it's interesting because even through that journey alone, we can see, I can see the subconscious blocks that are on in the body that it's being held. And by
Mm-hmm.
helping someone realign that and shift our posture, even the way we walk, it determines how we're being in the world. And so I use it as a very visual, tangible way for someone to connect with it. And in the coaching, I serve people in that emotional space to help, um, yeah, to help sort of remove it, to help them build that emotional safety within themselves, to be able to change it at an emotional level, at a physical level, and of course, the mind at the intellectual level will be shifted altogether because the body, mind, heart, soul connection is not separate. It's all one.
Mm-hmm.
We speak about oneness all the time in this, in the world that, people are open to that anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we must connect ourselves back as one. We cannot just work at the mind level or work at a physical level because there's people that fix things, go to surgery and fix physical things. And I've seen time and
Yeah.
time again, until you work on the emotional aspects, right? Things that even though it's fixed, the knee is fixed, right? They still experience the pain,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so it's super important in many ways. Like the way I help someone journey back into themselves, I often spend a lot of time in that emotional realm because a lot of people need that practice and support to be there, to receive themselves there, to experience that safety. And I like to say this, Michael, like a lot of times we go out and they say public speak or speak on a podcast, sometimes there's a fear that comes up, right, for people
Yeah.
to be seen in this way. And I help someone like create that safety in the emotional space because to be able to allow selves to step into that emotional space actually creates a lot of self-trust. And when they journey through the emotion, it creates that compassion, right? Sometimes we're really hard on ourselves. And so we're practicing in an internal way. And when we shift at an internal, that relationship with ourselves, our reality shifts.
Right.
Yeah. And so I focus my coaching really on the internal aspect as well as obviously creating that on the external level and shifting someone's deservingness level so they can receive, not with needing to push any harder.
Mm-hmm.
Because the universe is actually telling us this is an old paradigm. We need to shift this.
Right.
We're not meant to operate that way. Our body tells us that. And that's the embodiment piece, right? Coming back to our body to feel, because our emotions actually highlight a lot of times in the physical body. Like that's another piece that some people, like for myself, I couldn't even feel. I had to thaw myself. And a lot of times it's using the body to awaken again. And so it's like I tune into what that person needs, right? Because everyone is in a different place.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, like I said, I have to create, not have to, I choose to create this loving space. And I just hold the door open and I hold their hand to walk through it.
Yeah. I like how you just this for a second there, you you corrected self corrected your wording from I have to because I can tell that you're being drawn to do this. The universe. This is truly a vocation and a calling, where the universe is like, yeah, Tammy, you're going to do this. No matter what you do, we're going to do this. But you also know that everything is a choice too. I like how you just kind of self corrected that. Um, so I'm trying to figure out how to formulate this into a question. That you say like there's different. Is there different parts of your body that like say if I had hip pain and hand pain, is that different emotionally than it is say if I had a headache versus say a pain in my ankle?
Yes, it's that's part of the body analysis that I walk someone through is that I do a consultation to help assess like what's happening in your body, like what
Hmm.
medications are you taking, what are you how often has this been happening and all these kind of things. And different parts of our body definitely highlight to different things. And oftentimes it's again I speak of that emotional aspect and it's like the hip, for example, is a place where we may not want to move forward. There may be a place like someone may have hips that are off to one side and
Hmm.
they may never know. Like some people have uneven legs, right? And all that is created from childhood. And it speaks to a place that we're not necessarily we didn't know how to take care of how we stand, how we hold ourselves up, and different sides of the body speak to different things too. And overall, the full what I love is like when I see the full picture, and I allow my intuition to support me here, of course. And it's like the psychosomatic training is that it highlights, so you start to see patterns, the patterns of what these mean in the body, and it often matches with what's going on with your life. It's never separate. It's all the same, like same in that energy. And so it's like if we're wanting, this is your body's been communicating for you for a while. I mean, to you for a while. It's just a matter we did not get the manual necessarily. And it's about learning, it's learning to come back to ourselves because at some level that soul and the intuition comes in,
Yeah.
right? And you connect to your own wisdom.
Yeah.
And I basically help people kind of come back to that alignment within themselves.
Yeah.
And so the body is a beautiful way because we often focus on the physical, right, as something
Hmm.
that's tangible.
Yeah. We could get into a lot of quantum physics and stuff like that about energy versus matter and how energy is matter that just forgot to speed back up again. Um, but that's for another time, another maybe another show on that one. But
Mhm.
we, the point is basically we're all built out of and on energy, and we have to and this is what you help people do is you help them learn to allow that energy to flow, right?
Yes, very much in flow. I mean, anatomically, we are something like 90 something percent space.
Mm-hmm.
Emotions is energy in motion. It's just that it's stuck, taking up some space. Right. So really, that's such a big important piece is that emotional flow and that leadership, allowing yourself to be in flow. You must be in flow, that coherence I was speaking about. So that's a
Right.
big part of bringing ourselves back to just do what feels good to you and let's stop blocking ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We are the ones in the way of ourselves. And yeah, so.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to do something differently. I usually don't do this with people, but because you have such a strong energy and such a strong presence. Um, as you work with people and you help them find their self love and help them embody that and everything. What kind of a world are you creating one client at a time?
What kind of world am I
Yeah,
creating?
what kind of
I
world are you
believe I'm
creating?
bringing heaven. I believe I'm bringing heaven to earth. I know that sounds a bit cliche,
Oh,
but I literally got that as a download. And my mission is to create this more loving, connected world through inspiring and empowering humanity to really embody that full love and acceptance and remember the truth of who they are, because from that place, magic happens.
mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And
go ahead. Keep I just keep painting the picture of what you would like to see, or what is it you're trying to see as you're creating this world with these people, and helping them feel and be full of love and happy.
it's a world where I feel like I'm creating empowered, compassionate leaders where they return to who they know who they are. They're expressing their gifts. There's none of this dynamic of competition. It's a world where we're working side by side and we're naturally creating with complementary gifts and strengths to create more love for humanity, for our planet, to
Uh,
really shift and up level the consciousness of the earth.
wow.
All of us, whether it's light workers, whatever you want to call yourself, right? You
Yeah.
stand for love, you stand for something better.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, imagine that, a world where naturally you are abundant by just being yourself. That is actually the truth. We just need to remove the lies. Like I got this download several times and many times I brushed it off, right? But it just kept on coming through. And it's like just by choosing to love ourselves deeper and letting things in,
Uh huh.
we are not only living our purpose, we're happy, we feel that we're doing meaningful work, we're letting things in, we're creating financial stability, freedom, whatever you want to call it. You could
Mm-hmm.
create income naturally. It flows to just by being yourself. And all this other stuff that's out there, like it's like we gotta let that all go.
Yeah.
Like we're here to expand our light, to be more of ourselves, and to shift all that and break down those dynamics, those structures. We must support the future wave of creating this.
Yeah.
We're creating the space for our children to continue this. It starts with us, it starts with our families.
Wow. All right.
It just comes back to us.
Yeah. It does, right? It's like it does. It comes back to us, and us doing what we need to re, to create that environment for our world to thrive, right? So yeah,
For our world to, what's the last part you said?
thrive.
Thrive.
Yes.
Yes. We're
Well,
not here to survive, we're here to thrive.
yes.
That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's like survival's at one level, but there's so much more between survival and okay, we're just gonna say thrival. How's that? There's a lot a whole universe of difference between the two, isn't there?
There's a whole different
There's a
community. Is that what you said?
whole world, a whole difference between the universe between survival and thriving, right?
Definitely. And it comes with our beingness. It comes with who we choose to be. And if we're sitting, like just allow the audience to just sit here and feel your body. When you sit here and actually allow yourself to close your eyes and be with your body, like are you experiencing pain, tightness? Has
Hmm.
it been there for a while, right? Just a quick check-in to know that what have we been ignoring that my body is trying to get my attention?
Yeah.
Because that's sort of a way of surviving,
Hmm.
right? And allowing ourselves to have this fluidity and flow and to come back to alignment in our posture in a way that actually allows us to begin that thriving beingness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I feel so good.
Yeah. It does. Honestly, I had this coming into to our appointment today that if to do this interview, I had like this pain in the back of my neck right here, all the way down through my shoulders and everything, and it's starting to relax. Wow.
Yeah, and I invite you, and this is a very common thing that can support the audience as well, is just like just noticing, like rounding your shoulders forward, right? And bending your head forward, like almost like you're overemphasizing in front of a computer and typing, right?
Hmm.
And then allowing yourself to breathe in this curled up space and allow yourself to unravel slowly and just breathe. And like centimeter by centimeter, come up and breathe and unravel your body.
Hmm.
And just notice just in the restriction of flow in your breath with that. And when you're actually feeling like you're sitting up straight, allow yourself to just bring your shoulders back a little bit more.
Yeah.
Notice how just doing that alone loosens up some of the tension up there.
Yeah.
And breathe. You can feel that you're just opening up yourself just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just feels good, you know. So.
Yeah. And yeah, you're not the first one. Like I know that people sometimes in my energy, pain does shift. And so that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be offering my medicine
Well,
to you as we speak.
it brings me to a question of in believe it or not, this actually will help people. Like, do you feel some of what they feel when they describe it to you, or as you're doing
Yes,
your
Michael. Yes, yes. I discovered on my journey of doing energy healing and all these things that I am an empath. And
Hmm.
yes, I do feel your shoulders and upper back, Michael.
it, well, I had this because I feel this connection with you. When you were telling your story about your daughter and everything, I could feel that emotion. I actually that's why I had to take my glasses off because I was crying. I could feel it.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, you know. And as you started
Yeah.
telling how you were starting to wake up and everything, I could feel the emotion that you had with it. It was like it's it's beautiful to connect with
Yes.
somebody like that, right? So yeah,
Yes, it is. And it's beautiful to connect with another, empath and to have our energies intertwined for this yeah, special like
yeah,
ceremony, circle, podcast, whatever you want to call it.
yeah. So
It's yeah, it's truly beautiful.
yeah, you know, well, since we do, unfortunately, we're going to start to run out of time soon. So we're going to wrap it up with saying, one, what is the ultimate goal that you want your clients to have?
Hmm. I want them to, I want to increase their level of deservingness, um, to really create what they want in their lives from the deepest space of their heart and not from what they feel they should have,
Hmm.
from a place of the truth within themselves and to open to receive that.
Yeah.
That's what I want to create for my clients.
Okay. And best ways to get a hold of you.
Say that last part again,
The
Michael.
best way to get a hold of you.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I actually love to offer anyone listening to your podcast a complimentary one-on-one session.
Hmm.
And yeah, I love to offer that as a way to experience the work and yeah, to create that openness and love, whatever is being, if you feel called to me, I love to offer that in the space.
Okay. So there will be a link on depictions.media, where you'll be able to go ahead and book your 60-minute session via Zoom with Tammy. And outside of that, Tammy, it is Path to the Heart, right?
That's right.
What's the website again?
Pathstotheheart.com. We'll be
And
going through a upgrade soon, and that's what it is right now.
yeah, and of course your email address.
It's Tammy, so Tammy at pathtotheheart.com. So PATHTOTHE heart HEART.com.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the energy that you just brought into my studio. It was fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me, Michael. What an honor.
Okay, and for everybody listening, please do go to depictions.media. Go to depictions.media and click on the Calendly link for your free 60-minute session with Tammy, or email her, or go to her website and just find your way to her, and she'll help heal those emotions and that burnout, and bring you to a better place in your life.
And I looked up at a shooting star, and then I wondered who you are. I just need to know. So I wish upon that shooting star,
This show has been produced by Depictions Media. Please contact us at depictions.media for more information.